SA had survived corruption storms, political betrayals, courtroom drama, and midnight resignations. Nothing prepared the nation for what happened this week. Because this time, it wasn't just politics. It was personal. It was hidden. And it was explosive. It began with one unbelievable claim. Monkonyane was adopted. And not just adopted into any home, but into a home surrounded by power, secrecy, and the highest political influence in the country. Within hours, the country was no longer the same. It was just after midnight when the first document appeared. A blurry scan. A birth record. An old adoption registration stamped decades ago. But then, more files surfaced. More names. More signatures. And then the words that stopped the entire nation. Placed under guardianship of a politically connected household. It was a bomb. South Africa woke up to a headline screaming across every platform. Unbelievable, Monkonyane childhood was a lie. Monkonyane had always been a mystery. A woman who rose through the ranks with unstoppable force. Some called her fearless. Others called her dangerous. She was known for speaking too boldly, knowing too much, and surviving every scandal that should have ended her career. But now, the question wasn't about her speeches. It wasn't about parliament. It wasn't about politics. It was about her identity. Who was she really? And why had her past been sealed so tightly? Investigative journalists dug deeper. Old neighbors were questioned. Retired officials were contacted. Archivists were pressured. And slowly, a picture began to form. A young girl, taken in quietly. No public record. No celebration. No announcement. Just silence. A child raised behind walls where powerful people made decisions that shaped the nation. One journalist whispered on live television. This was not a normal adoption. This was an operation. The anchor froze. The studio went silent. South Africa leaned closer to their screens. Why did government officers suddenly refuse access to records? Why did officials stop answering calls? Why were journalists being warned to drop the story? Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Then came the moment that pushed the country into full chaos. A respected political analyst went on air and said, "This story leads uncomfortably close to the highest office." The words hit like thunder. People didn't need names. They understood exactly what was being implied. The president's circle. The ruling elite. The inner machinery of power. And suddenly, the whispers began. Was she raised as part of a political plan? Was she protected all these years? Did someone build her career from the shadows? What does the presidency know? No proof was shown. No direct accusation confirmed. But the silence from the top was louder than any statement. By morning, the streets were no longer calm. Outside Parliament, crowds gathered. Some demanded truth. Others demanded Monkonyane's protection. They stood in Parliament shouting, "The people are being lied to." Government benches erupted. Security tightened. Sessions were suspended. The speaker called for order again and again. But order was gone. South Africa was spiraling. Outside Monkonyane's residence, cameras lined the street. Journalists waited. Protesters chanted. Police formed barriers. And inside, sources claimed Monkonyane was breaking down. A woman who had survived political warfare was now shaken by something far deeper. Her own past. A friend reportedly heard her whisper, "I didn't know. They never told me. My whole life was written by someone else." She had questions. Painful ones. Who were her biological parents? Why was she placed into secrecy? Who decided her fate? Removed from archives overnight. A government clerk, speaking anonymously, said, "People came with authority. They took everything." The nation froze. Because that meant one thing. This wasn't just a personal story. This was being controlled. Someone powerful was cleaning up. Reports surfaced of an emergency meeting at the highest levels. Cars entering through back gates. Security blocking roads. Fun.